In a matter of minutes, hundreds of lives changed forever in Indiana.
It was fast, it was a lot of wind, and I didn't think it did this much damage until I opened the door and seen everything.
Tornadoes tearing through the state, leaving death and destruction in their wake.
It's just sad, it's a sad day, for Sullivan.
With nothing left to do but pick up the pieces, communities are now coming together to overcome and rebuild.
We're blessed. We're just blessed that that's all that happened.
We are just so amazed. It's so wonderful, the outpour that we've had from this community here. It's just wonderful.
It's devastating, but things can be replaced.
In a matter of minutes Friday night, we saw communities devastated, neighborhoods ripped apart, and entire towns and cities left wondering how to move forward. In Sullivan County, an EF3 tornado wiped out homes, impacting hundreds and killing at least 3 people. In Johnson County, an EF2 tornado demolished parts of Whiteland, leaving neighborhoods nearly unrecognizable. And now we're seeing the aftermath of that storm. We do want to take a look at how quickly this storm took hold of the Hoosier State. Kelly Green walks us through the timeline.
The first tornado touched down in Sullivan County at 10:23 p.m. The storm ultimately destroying about 200 homes in just about 11 minutes. At 10:45, an EF1 tornado touches down in Clinton County, this one spending about 8 minutes on the ground. At 11:11, the first tornado lands in Howard County. Another touches down just 4 minutes later. 5 minutes after that, a third tornado, this one an EF1. At 11:27, a brief touchdown in Bargersville, and then at 11:33, an EF2 causes widespread damage across Whiteland. 1 hour, that's all it took for this storm system to produce 7 damaging and deadly tornadoes.
In the wake of Friday's devastating storms, we've learned the names of the 3 people killed in Sullivan County. 56-year-old Susan K. Horton and her son, 38-year-old Thomas Horton, were both from Sullivan. Police say 47-year-old Shane Goodman lived just outside city limits there and also died in the storm. And his wife, we're told, was injured and is now recovering from surgery. Sullivan's Mayor Clint Lamb shared an update this afternoon on the impact to his community. He says they've moved from rescue to recovery operations. Everyone who was missing inside city limits is now accounted for. However, Indiana State Police are using a helicopter to look for at least one person in Sullivan County. The mayor tonight also asking everyone to remember recovery from this storm will be a long process.
This can't be an emotional thing where everybody jumps on now. We are going to need your help today. We're going to need your help a week from now. We're going to need your help months from now. We're going to need your help years from now.
Although so many people want to donate to help right now, Mayor Lamb says they actually don't need any more supplies currently. Instead, he's asking people to give to the Sullivan County Community Foundation, and we have a link for you on WTHR.com. New tonight, we're learning more about the couple killed in Owen County while camping at McCormick's Creek State Park. Brett and Wendy Kincaid were in their camper trailer at the time when the storm hit Friday night. They're pictured here with their son, their daughter, and grandson. The couple was from Rossville. Family tells us Brett was a construction contractor and Wendy worked at administration at Purdue University. Indiana State Police shared these images of the state park yesterday. You can see the damage here. McCormick's Creek remains closed right now as staff members check trails and clean up damage from the storm.
This impacted area of Sullivan is under curfew from 7 p.m. until 7 a.m. after a devastating tornado ripped through this little town at about 10:30 on Friday night. 155 homes were destroyed just in this city, 200 throughout Sullivan County. The tornado warning was issued at 10:08 Friday night, giving residents about 22 minutes to prepare.
What we try to do is to provide information and get warnings out in advance, and then people have an action plan that they know what to do and can take cover. And I guess if there's a silver lining, it's that despite the tragedy, the terrible tragedy, that there wasn't more lives lost or people hurt.
Inside this house, Lacey Bogard braced for impact with the granddaughter on her lap, and her 2 sons.
I come out on the porch and I said, it's coming, and my son told me, he's like, quit being over dramatic and go back to your room. When the lights went off, I said, it's coming, and I went in. She was on my bed, and I just dove on top of her, and then my oldest dove on top of me and her, and my youngest was in the living room trying to get the dog, and it was over within 30 seconds. It was terrifying.
Lacey and her family are okay. They salvaged what they could from what's left of their house. They have a place to go. Governor Helcom arrived Saturday afternoon to meet survivors like Lacey. The governor surveyed the damage with the Sullivan mayor and thanked the cleanup crews.
You see, the folks that are here who have come from far and wide to help this city. This was a horrific event, but it brings out the absolute best in people too.
Someone in this area obviously collected sports cards. Their collection is now scattered throughout Sullivan. Here's a Charles Barkley. This is not the kind of March Madness we wanted to see. In Sullivan, Rich Nye, 13 News.
At least 19 tornadoes over the span of a few hours Friday night, including 2 EF3 tornadoes. And let's first take you up to Howard County, where 3 tornadoes hit. This here, a look at the damage in Kokomo and Rushville. The National Weather Service confirms 2 EF0 tornadoes touched down in the southwest part of the county, and an EF1 with winds of up to 110 miles per hour hit eastern Howard County. Now, Grant County got hit hard too. Neighbors in Swayze spent the weekend helping each other clean up from the storm. The high winds severely damaged some homes as well, while leaving others with just minor damage. And then there's a lot to clean up in Morgan County too. Take a look at the damage to the town square Friday night. That's where crews there worked throughout the night trying to clear the downed trees and restore power.
From the air, you can see the tornado's destructive path in Johnson County, a direct hit that damaged Whiteland fast.
It was like within 5 minutes. This is what happened within 5 minutes.
It's unbelievable. Never seen anything like it. 60 years old, I've never seen nothing like this in this town.
An EF2, according to survey teams with the National Weather Service, 135-mile-an-hour winds, destroying homes and changing lives in an instant. Anastasia and her family heard the warnings and took cover right away.
As soon as we got in the tub and my other family went to the bathroom, the lights cut off and the tornado, it just hit. It was fast, it was a lot of wind, and I didn't think it did this much damage until I opened the door and seen everything.
The monster storm that hit just before midnight showed the result of its fury in the light of day. Houses off their foundations, cars now mangled metal, debris and downed trees everywhere. The cleanup for families almost overwhelming.
And we're all going through the same thing, and I'm just grateful that everybody made it out okay.
That is the good news in Whiteland. No deaths, no serious injuries, and now no shortage of help.
We bought 2 pallets of water, some blankets, and some other things.
Business owners like John Merrill went shopping Saturday and dropped off donations at the New Whiteland Fire Department, a room full of goodwill for neighbors in need.
My golden rule in life is if somebody would do something for me, I'll do it for them, and I can tell you that I bet there's not a citizen in Whiteland that if they knew I needed help, wouldn't help me. So it's that simple.
Same giving spirit at Greenwood Middle School, where storm survivors can take temporary shelter.
People have just been so gracious and just an outpour of love from this community for their neighbors.
Hoosiers helping Hoosiers after a devastating storm.
And you were talking about the roof damage, and I want to show you this house. This is the Duncan's house, and up here where the chimney used to be, if you look up here, Bill, up to the right there, you can see where the fireplace is. And here's the chimney, this brick chimney right here in the front yard. And when I stopped by earlier, the family that has lived in this house for 35 years was using this as a place to sit and eat some of the lunch that was donated to them that came from a local restaurant. And you can just imagine how heavy this is. They had 2 chimneys like this that they lost in the storm. And when it came down, the family was safe inside and nobody was hurt. But if you would like to help, the Red Cross is setting up some avenues where you can do just that. So we want to tell you about some different ways that you can donate. So they are providing relief for Indiana tornadoes and also tornadoes that came through the Midwest in general. You can go to redcross.org/donate. You can call 1-800-RED-CROSS. You can text Red Cross to the number 90999. online. And if you do that, then that is a $10 donation.
The cleanup process in Sullivan likely will take many months. And those who made it through the storm are sharing their survival stories, hearing warnings and then taking action.
This just is devastating. I mean, everything that has been here all these years is just gone. I mean, our friends and neighbors' houses are to the ground.
With more than 150 homes destroyed just in the city of Sullivan, families certainly need help with recovery.
Neighbors here in Howard County have a big task ahead of them as they continue cleanup after Friday's storms. If you're wondering how big, take a look at how strong the winds were. They were strong enough to push this tractor trailer on its side. Now, neighbors say this might look like an impossible task, but they say they're choosing to remain positive. Neighbors in Howard County assessing the damage from Friday's storm seem to be in agreement on one thing.
We're just happy that everybody's safe and, that didn't hurt anybody, and it's just things that can be replaced.
God has blessed us to no end, and things could always be worse. And
Jeff Davidson knew the moment he had heard the loud sound, the situation had gotten serious.
And it literally sounded like a freight train and literally shook the house. And I looked outside and saw the rain going horizontal across, and I knew that it had to be a tornado. And I told them there is damage close by.
But he didn't know how close. The building that houses his excavation company collapsed on top of one of his brand new trucks. Luckily, no one was hurt.
Okay.
But Emily Aaron and her family didn't hear any of that loud noise.
Okay, that's a wrap.
She and her family were 12 hours away in Florida when the storm hit. After she heard about the damage, she says it felt disheartening being so far away from home at the time.
Felt very disheartening, not knowing what to do next, how to help the animals that were strapped here,
When she arrived home, she found her garage had been destroyed. Trees snapped over in her front yard and part of her fence on the ground. But she also found her friends ready to work and help her take care of it.
Everybody came and kind of did little, brush ups and got the items out of the refrigerator for us so it didn't smell. I mean, there's so many help.
Jeff says that same community support has also helped his family during this tough time.
And even all day today, people, what can I do to help? And I'm coming out. People would just show up. They'd start in helping.
They don't know how long it will take them to clean everything up, so they're just taking it one day at a time.
Just keep going, get it put back together, and thank God it wasn't any worse than what it was.
As cleanup continues, the Howard County Sheriff's Office is asking people to remain cautious while driving through the area. In Howard County, Logan Gay, 13 News.
Well, now that the shock is over, many people spent the day saving whatever they could, and I learned that some things are more precious than others.
My niece is 13, so trying to find anything for her that'll make her feel a little better.
Stephen and Becky Mendel are on a mission to help a family member in need.
Trying to go through what we can find, what we can actually pull out of the rooms where the walls have collapsed in. And
Becky's sister lived in this home, barely escaping after the EF tornado ripped through this Whiteland neighborhood.
I think they had some stitches and some scratches, but looking at it, they're lucky they made it out alive.
The couple says they spent hours Sunday searching for the important day-to-day essentials.
Cell phones, purse, wallet,
keys,
while also finding family keepsakes.
High school diplomas, stuff of that nature.
Found my sister's wedding dress.
Yeah. Her graduation gown. I think I found his cap too.
Yeah.
He was hiding in the closet when I found him this morning.
Across the street, Mike and Holly Beatty were focused on finding their 1-year-old cat, Iggy.
I lost my twin sister in September, and this cat has been by my side the whole time. And he knows when I need support, so he's my support cat.
Despite losing their homes, these Hoosiers say they're glad no lives were lost. They just hope getting back on their feet won't be too difficult.
At some point, you got to pick up your life and kind of move on. But what do you do? Where do you start? And I think that's going to be the next big thing for us.
And many people in the community are still coming together to help out any way they can. If you would like to help, we'll have a link on our website at WTHR.com. Reporting in Johnson County, I'm Matthew Foltz, 13 News.
at Whiteland High School.
Still a lot of cleanup to do there and a lot of help they need.
On what should have been their first day back from spring break, nearly 200 Clark Pleasant teachers and staff boarded buses to share a life lesson with their community. Tornado damage canceled classes, so instead this small army of warriors set out to help their neighbors in need.
If this happened to me, I'd want someone to come and help me do unto others. And this is my community where I work and teach and love these kids and love the families. All these people are taking, their time out to come and help, and just to show the love for our community, love for the people, love for our school corporation.
The work here is physical, the damage extensive, trees and debris scattered all over the Park Forest neighborhood. Whiteland's athletic director lives here. He's part of the team helping out.
I grew up here, I'm from here. This is what you do around here. When there's a need, we feel it.
There's a lot to fill. Take a look at this house. The roof gone. It's totally open to the elements. Yet the couple inside survived. So did their neighbors, the Mendez family.
We were up in this bedroom right here where the chimney is, and then he starts screaming, run. And we were all upstairs. We have 5 kids and we ran downstairs.
They're now staying in a hotel. Her youngest needs oxygen and there's no power here. But there is a powerful sense of gratitude she has for these school volunteers.
All these people out here shows you you're in a good place,
Warriors helping Whiteland recover.
You make the most of what you can do, what you can control, and right now what we can control is cleaning up and helping people out.
Bill Pirtle and many of his family members were out sorting through his brother's belongings, salvaging what they could among the rubble in Sullivan. Scattered around, a large collection of baseball cards that he says his brother has been collecting for more than 50 years.
He's been collecting them since he's 12 years old, and the house over here, it was completely full.
Pirtle says some of these cards were pretty valuable. His brother had been diagnosed with ALS and is currently in hospice care. He says it was difficult telling his brother what had happened.
Been trying to save all the stuff we can. It just breaks my heart. I hate to even talk to him about it.
Just a few doors up the road, an American flag was flying over what's left of Val Reed's home. She shared her story of riding out the storm in her basement.
I didn't hear a freight train sound like everybody says. It was more like a huge monster growling. It was like a moaning, groaning, growling, things breaking. You could hear glass. I heard water running. And then just as soon as it hit, it was gone and everything got quiet.
Reed, family, and volunteers worked to locate anything salvageable from their property. While speaking with Reed, her son brought over a hospital bracelet. She remembered it was the bracelet from when her daughter was born. There was also a folder for church with a cash donation. She couldn't help but smile. Then her husband approached with news.
A gentleman from down the street, and he saw me on top of this pile that used to be a house. And he said he prayed to the Lord to show him what he can do for somebody. He said he wants to put a building up totally for nothing.
On Tuesday, a new garage was going up in place of the Reed's old garage, a gesture of kindness after a dark storm, a place they could store their belongings, which are important, but far from the first thing mentioned in terms of gratitude.
The Lord helped us, and he keeps helping.
This material stuff, you can redo that, but the lives is what was most important in all of us. We're thankful for that.
That's what I told Mom. I don't think there's anything that either of you need to physically do today.
Lara Rogers' parents survived Friday's storm despite a direct hit to their home.
It is just purely a miracle from God that they walked out of there without injury. I mean, just without a scratch.
In the days since, she's witnessed another miracle. Fellow Hoosiers here to help.
This one's got a lot of nails.
Hundreds of them working in concert to clear debris.
People I've never met and that I'll never be able to tell thank you. But I'm so thankful. Yeah.
Now this effort is more urgent. They're up against the clock for yet another storm.
We was trying to get all this done before the next one hits, because when it hits, all this debris could be going anywhere. And thank God that we've had so many volunteers. We wouldn't even been close if it hadn't been for all these people.
They're trying to clear trees, tarp roofs, protect damaged homes fast. First responders warning round 2 of severe weather could be dangerous.
Many of these buildings are still unstable, and when you start applying high winds and rain to these types of situations, now we have debris flying around, structures can continue to collapse. And so our plan is if we see that severe weather moving in, then we'll evacuate those areas where people are working to make sure everybody's safe.
And that's what we have volunteers out doing today, is making sure that they get those homes as secure as they can before this next wave of weather comes through.
Families here just hope they're spared a second hit.
We have dealt with it all, one step at a time, 1 minute at a time. It's like, we'll just watch the next step and we'll take that when it comes. So.